The same idea with the bar book interviews. I thought instead of me just sitting here and talking to all of you from camera side at my desk, we're going to move this outside a little bit and let the kids ask some questions. So we're going to start off with Rylan today. He is behind the camera, but you'll hear him as he asks me his own version of questions about the bar book and what we're doing and what's going on. So Rylan, the floor is yours, buddy.
All right. So you and Dolly are getting ready to go to the American Distilling Institute conference, correct?
Yes.
So what exactly will you be doing there, and what will you be speaking about?
So, I've been asked to go to the American Distilling Institute. I've been a member of that for a couple years now. It's a institution that kind of helps craft distillers, connect, network, learn from each other, tell stories, and do things like that. Well, I've been asked to go down there and speak and provide a presentation on what kind of how technology is reshaping and refocusing the alcohol industry as a whole. So everything we're talking from, AI flavor matching, kind of what we do, and some of the technology that comes with social media, to even the cool little things where you can tap your phone next to a bottle and have a story pop up and tell you about it. So there's all kinds of fantastic stuff that's happening with technology. Distilleries are run by different machines, and how those things are, automation is carrying everything. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, share some of this cool stuff the bar book's doing, and kind of maybe open their aperture up a little bit to some cool things that can, be in the future.
So why did you join the American Distilling Institute?
I think probably the same reason that a lot of people do. Networking, connections, and just overall interest in the spirits industry as a whole. I mean, one of the cool things about ADI is I went there with your bonus uncles last year, and we got to go spend some time walking around the floor, talking about the idea of the bar book when we were first kind of launching it out there and testing it. And it was a great way to meet people and kind of validate what we were doing and whether that's going to work well in this industry. And man, we made a lot of connections, met a ton of people. It was very, very, very beneficial for us as newcomers to the industry, as well as letting the industry overall know what we're building and that we're doing it with them together.
All right, so speaking of contacts, how would brands get added to the app that you're creating?
Yeah, so a couple different ways. One, as you know, I spend a lot of time building them myself. We've got other people helping us build these brands into the app, and developing their flavor profiles on the app and growing it so we can build our database larger and larger for the end consumer to use it. But if you are a brand that wants your product on there and we haven't got around to building it yet, they can reach out to us directly. They can go to thebarbook.app. There's a way to contact us on there. Our emails and everything are on there. There's also a way to download the app from there. But get in touch with us. Tell us. Right now, because we're still in our beta version, we're still launching, it's in the basics, we're letting people add their brands for free. So they can build their profiles, they can build more products, post, talk about their brands, and share their stories and their connections with anybody that's looking to be on the app, on the platform.
So why do you post your stories, pictures for all these other brands?
So it's because we're telling a story. So not only are we advertising who is joining the bar book, right? We want to tell them about those brands, but we also want to introduce them to those brands. A lot of people don't understand how many brands are in their backyards and how close they are connected to those brands. Just a few miles from here, there's several distilleries that are producing fantastic products and making new things, breweries, bars, restaurants, and they've all got a story to tell, and they've got a connection to their community. And I think every time I learn about them, as I'm adding them specifically to the platform, I want to share what I've learned and share that out with the public and let them know that there's this cool place out there, something new, something they should try, and maybe they'll continue to share their stories on the app as well.
So what do you and Dolly want the veterans group to do in the future for veterans in the beverage industry?
So Dolly and I are part of the American Distilling Institute's Veterans Group. Um, we're trying to shape that group and work with that group to provide support to veteran-owned breweries, distilleries. Mainly that group's focusing on distilleries, but overall it's everybody who's a veteran in this space. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure that we speak with one voice, advocate for ourselves, and do things. There's a couple agenda items, I guess, that we're trying to work through and make our priorities. One that sticks out in mind as kind of an inspiration from last year was we want to make sure every veteran brand gets represented in military base PXs and Class 6s, which are the beverage stores that sell beer, wine, and spirits. For some reason, it's hard to get into those stores, especially if you're a veteran brand because you're smaller and you're a craft brand. But we want to make sure we try to find a way, maybe speaking as one voice, we can open up doors for that. And provide more opportunities for those brands. We view it as, all these, veterans have served their country, and maybe there's a way we can help support them and help their businesses grow. They're creating businesses, they're creating jobs, they're using local resources, they're members of their community, and I don't think there's a reason why we shouldn't support them and help them grow. And if there's a way that we can combine all our voices together and speak with unity as a group through the American Distilling Institute and through other organizations, I think it's, there's no other reason we should do this. We should support these groups and be together in this. So we really believe that strongly. We really believe that the Bar Book and many of the other brands that are part of this group are looking for ways to help support veterans and veteran-owned brands.
All right, I'm gonna switch subjects here. So, why didn't you and Dolly decide to create the Bar Book and start it?
Well, so I've told this story a bunch of times, so I think I'm going to tell it so you get it. So, you know how you guys like your favorite Capri Sun flavors or juice flavors or, sodas or whatever you guys like,
I'm
right?
more of a sweet tea guy, but I get you.
Okay, all right. So you like your sweet tea. But there's brands of sweet tea that you like more than other brands of sweet tea. Some you don't like so much in others. Well, the same is true for alcohol. And the same is true for anything, realistically. But sometimes it's hard to remember all those. And with spirits, there's a whole lot more options, or with, let's say, with a bourbon or a tequila, there's a whole lot more options than, say, sweet tea, right? So we wanted a way to find those. Find the ones we like. Find the ones that we know we're going to like before we even try them. Because unlike sweet tea, spirits can be a lot more expensive. And we're in this house, we got all of you kids to take care of. We don't have infinite amounts of money. And nobody does. So the point is, we are building flavor profiles on these drinks to make sure that people get an idea of what they're going to like before they try it. And that was kind of the whole point here, is we don't want people to spend a whole lot of money trying things they're not going to like. We want to help guide them to the things that already fit the flavors they enjoy, and then maybe introduce them to some things that they've never tried before.
Okay. So I'm gonna go back to you guys showing up at the American Distilling Institute conference. What do you and Dolly hope to do at the conference besides like speaking and talking to like all these other brands and telling them about the Bar Book?
So we're going to be there for a few days. We have, well, first off, we're going to connect with a lot of our friends again. So we're going to see, I'm trying to think if there's anybody that you're going to remember. You'll probably remember Alan from Crafted Conversations. He comes up here, you remember him. So Alan will be there. He's doing a lot of stuff for their public affairs that has to do with ADI. We'll talk to him quite a bit. I'm sure that we're going to run into many of the other brands that we've seen at these places before, and just, talk to them, see how things are going with their brands, tell them what's going on with us. The networking is huge. Just, maybe we'll meet some new brands we didn't get to meet last year, connect with them. But anytime you can get in a room and talk with industry professionals about the industry and learn what's new, what's in the future, what we didn't think about, what are the new ways they're making things, what are the lessons learned from other people that are doing some of the things behind the scenes. Um, it's just a tremendous event that I think we hope to get a whole lot out of. Last year I came out with a ton of information and a ton of new connections, and I think this year won't be any different.
So, what's your ultimate goal for the bar book? Like, where do you see yourself like 25 years from now? You fully built the bar book. You have it ready. People are on it. Million plus users using it daily. What's your ultimate goal?
Um, you know, we have tons of goals that we want for the bar book, but I think the ultimate goal is to build something that people love. Build a platform that really shapes the industry, really breaks down barriers. We don't want this to be another line item for people's expense reports. In the future, I'm sure it's going to be, there's going to be some expense for the brands to use it and get the analytics behind it. But what we want it to be is real value added. We don't want this to be another cheap marketing tool. We don't want this to be, some fly-by-night show up and promise you the moon and give you nothing. We really want this to be a community of people that are sharing their stories, helping to grow brands through those stories, helping to build connections through those stories, something that becomes real and tangible, not just fake and online. But one of the things that I love the most about talking to craft brands and brands in general is I love learning their story. I love learning their history. I love learning the people that are behind those brands. And so I think if the bar book can become the platform that builds those connections with other people, that introduces you to brands based on your flavors, but also through the connections, the people that are behind the stories, and tells the real stories of those brands, I think that's the end state. I think that's the goal. That's what we want. I know you're after, hey, Dad, how much money do you plan to make? I got where you're going with this.
Hey, that's not where I'm going. You took it there.
But I think the real goal is to build something that is more than just a platform. It's a connection tool. It's a way for you to learn about brands that you didn't know existed, and then find a way to connect with them.
All right. Trying to think of another thing to ask real quick. Would you ever create like your own brewing industry? Like, would you ever make like your own strand of alcohol?
My own beer, my own spirits? Well, I don't know. It's a very complicated industry. It takes a lot of money to do those kind of things and to build your own brand. I think it would be cool one day, but I think I would start off smaller. I think I would love to do maybe a couple collaboration barrels, maybe, where we do some barrel picks or some special barrel releases under, with a brand for the bar book or whatever. Or maybe we come up with our own recipe for a beer and we brew a special beer that gets released by another brand as a partner with us. I don't know that we want to create a bar book brand line of maybe a bourbon or a tequila or a whiskey. Like, I don't know if we want to get into that. But I think it would be cool if we could, pick a brand. It doesn't really matter. But if we were to go to that brand and say, you know what, let's do a collaboration between us, and let's take whatever, pick our favorite flavor profiles and release a barrel that fits all of that. I think that would be cool.
So, what makes you different compared to like the other apps that are out there that are kind of doing this but kind of not?
Yeah, so that goes back to your question about where this come from. When I started this with Dolly and we started having conversations just in the very beginning about let's do this, we looked at those other apps. We searched for an app that would do this, and so there's two things that we found were probably the most common things that were missing. One, the flavor matching. There are a ton of apps out there that do rate and review. You can write about an app or write about a different alcohol, beer or spirits or wine, and say, I love this because.
Yeah, you can go do that on Yelp or Google.
Right. You can go do that all over the place for bars, restaurants, or breweries or distilleries. You can do that. But here's what it doesn't do. It doesn't take that information, match it with the flavors that are on hand, run it through our program, and then spit it back out to suggest what's next. None of those things happen. And so that's what we wanted. We wanted you not only to say, I like this iced tea, but we wanted it to come out and say, this iced tea has all these flavors, Rylan, and here's the other teas that kind of fit your flavors. So if you're hanging out at so-and-so's restaurant, you'll know if you like their iced tea before you even try it. Or you'll know if you won't like it before you try it, and then you won't order it, right? So that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to take it the next step. And the second thing we wanted to do is we wanted connection, real connection to the brands, to the stories. We wanted a way that brands could tell their stories on the platform, and a way that each time you try their product and say something, post about it, share a picture, share the occasion that you're enjoying it, your occasion becomes part of their story. So drinking alcohol is not about drinking alcohol. It's not about just drinking. It's about the occasion, the moment, the sharing, the people. It's about all those things. Okay? So if you notice, when we have a drink or we have a group of people over the house, it's about the occasion, right? It's about enjoying it with other people. That's what this is all about. And we wanted a way to share those stories and share those connections. Because if we can match you with the flavors, with the people, and with the occasion, then you're going to have the perfect drink. And that's what we're trying to do here. And I think that's what sets us apart and makes us different from somebody that just allows you to rate and review. We're matching your flavors, your people that are your own core group that enjoy that same thing, and then we're showing you the occasions that matter.
All right, well, that's kind of all the questions I can think of currently.
Right. Well, then I will do this. I will close this out by saying, Rylan, thanks for doing this interview with me today. Thanks for taking the time from your busy schedule of football and athletics and all the other things that you do. And
please, I have 5 hours a day to sleep.
Summer break is nice, right?
Yeah, and now it's gonna end.
Well, thanks for doing this. And for everybody out there, stay tuned. I'm hoping to convince the other children to do their own version of this, where they get to ask unrestricted questions about anything they want and just kind of learn more and share it with you. So thanks so much for tuning in to our new chats and talking about the bar book, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.